What's up, everybody? It is Danny back here today again with another video. I just wanted to say what's up. You guys can obviously see I'm in a new place, so I've moved from my parents' place out here to my apartment back in Gainesville. So the lighting is going to look a little different. We're just going to try and figure things out, so the lighting may look different in these videos. But most importantly, we are bringing you another book review today. We're going to be checking out the 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. So I finished this up a few weeks ago. I've had kind of a lag here, as you guys know, in creating these videos, and that is just because I was finishing up a tough summer load of classes as well as my internship, and then getting moved in here in Gainesville. Thought I was going to have to wait on my light, but I ended up just using some natural lighting, so if I look a little pale, that's because all the other videos are fake. I'm just kidding. But 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss had some really great principles. I've heard about the 4 Hour Workweek before a lot, actually, and it's come highly recommended, but it's always come with kind of a caveat that, like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in here that's kind of BS, and then some of the stuff is really good. And I totally agree with that. I'm not going to necessarily utilize all the principles in the book. There's a lot of stuff about starting online businesses and, things that aren't really for me. But what I did really like was the way he approached problem solving, the way he approached life, actually. And so what Tim does and what he preaches in the book is to actually, be uber effective and not super efficient, focus on effectiveness over efficiency, which I think is really important. So, and the difference is, and a good example that he gave is, who cares how fast you can answer a bunch of meaningless emails? So instead of working on developing your, email answering speed and, efficiently sorting your emails and all that stuff, you're going to want to just eliminate a lot of the stuff that you do on a daily basis. And there's a lot of principles, both direct stuff that he talks about in the book. One of the issues is that the book was written in 2008, I think. So a lot of the technology that he talks about is outdated. But nonetheless, it's very good as far as the general principles for being effective in your life. Eliminating stuff, blocking out time to do things, and just working your butt off as efficiently and effectively as you can during that time on the things that are really important. So, choosing what you're going to do is something that he focuses on a lot too, that I think is really important. There's a lot of things vying for our attention, and choosing the correct one and focusing on that one is super important. So that's the main idea of the book is, keep the most important thing. And so the way that I've applied that for myself is I applied it to my internship quite a bit, actually, where I took tasks that, I might usually kind of be flipping between email and whatever work objective I have, and maybe some Skype messages, and then maybe playing on my phone. I might have 5 or 6 things going at once, and so I work, and finish the task by the end of the day, like it's assigned, and that's okay. But what I found is that if I take some time in the morning and I block off time that I'm going to work just on this one task, I'd actually finish it in maybe 1, 2, or 3 hours instead of taking me all day. And then I can actually, reach out to my mentor at work and be like, hey, I'm done with this. Do you have something else for me? And then I actually get some free time while I wait on him to respond. He's like, oh, you finished that quick. And so that was really, really helpful for my internship, because then I actually took that extra free time and applied that same, regimented efficiency and effectiveness towards my schoolwork. So I didn't rewatch lectures. I didn't, just scan through notes. I learned, and so personally for me, the best way to learn is to do problems, problem solve, or to, watch a lecture and focus on it. So just the only thing on my screen is that lecture, and I focus really intensely. And so what I was able to do towards the end of the summer is utilizing the time that I was just working to actually do both work and school, and yet still do an even better job at my internship than I was doing before. So that really helped me with getting ahead in my internship while still, I ended up getting straight A's for my summer school. And it really was effective and helped me, structure my life and my ways and my actions in a way that allowed me to do more with less. And what I really like about his philosophy is it's not like, every minute of your life needs to be structured to accomplish something. It's more like you do the damn things that are important. and be really hardworking when you're doing them. But dude, you can work, not that much necessarily. And of course, I don't ever see myself just working 4 hours. But, principles like this you could apply to, working 30 or 40 hours a week and getting the same amount or more done than someone who's working 100. And so you're able to have a social life and a good, enjoyable life while not killing yourself. And that's really important to me because there's a lot of things that interest me. And, I would like to be able to do my classes, to do my work, to be involved in multiple clubs, to have a social life, to stay in shape, but, not be working 80 or 90 hours a week to get that done. So those principles, as far as being effective, being efficient, and keeping the most important thing, were really, really good. So the second principle that interested me in the book was the way that Tim socializes. So first of all, he put social things very high on his priority list and talked about how he had dinner for a few hours once or twice a week, maybe even more than that. And he said that is something that you should prioritize because it's an enjoyable experience, and it's actually grows those relationships, which end up having positive benefits in the long term. And so I actually was just on a podcast yesterday, and it really thinking about what Tim had talked about with how important social interaction is, and just enjoying having a good conversation with someone. I spent maybe 2.5 hours between driving over there, having the podcast, recording it and everything, and then leaving. But it was so much worth my time, even though I'm a real busy person, because I was able to spend time getting to know this really interesting guy, Greg, putting out content, all these benefits that came from socializing. Again, I think it points to being effective and not efficient. I wasn't efficient with my time with him. I mean, we spent 2.5 hours, we chatted, but it was really an effective thing for my life and for this relationship and all the other good things that could come out of it. So definitely spend time socializing. I think that it's incredibly important that we as human beings, both for our personal growth and, for your success, it's going to really come down to, who you know. There's all kinds of quotes about show me your network and I'll show you your net worth. Your 5 friends, or you're the average of your 5 friends. You get the idea. And Tim has some really interesting points for actually reaching out to celebrities and stuff. And I've used that to contact a few of my professors who at a big school like me aren't necessarily super available. But I've developed a really good relationship with one of my professors, and she's been helping me, with questions about grad school and really important stuff. So, it's good stuff in the book for connecting with important people. And then lastly, and also quite controversially, he talks about the low information diet. And he applies this not only to, you shouldn't be doing lots of social media, you shouldn't be watching news, things like that. He also talks a lot about how you shouldn't be reading too much nonfiction material, which for me, we're gonna fight now. But his point was really good, and I understood what he was saying. He's saying basically, let's say you read a book a week, and it's a nonfiction book, so it's not necessarily told in story form. You're not really going to get that much from it, especially if you immediately don't apply the principles and you move on to your next book. I totally agree with what he was saying. And for me, a lot of the books that I read are biographies and stuff, and so that's enjoyable. I get the story, and I learn history, and as well as being able to pull out and apply some of those principles. So I would actually say that if you're someone who is super into self-help and you're reading a self-help book a week and you're watching tons of YouTube videos about self-help and about how to be better, maybe try to scale back your consumption and increase your production. And I do agree with him on that producing and putting stuff out into the world is far more important than consuming. Learning's important, but actually you learn a lot more by doing. So all in all, great book, absolutely worth the read. Everyone should read it, and then you can pick and choose what you want from it. There's actually a big section about starting online businesses that I'm not really interested in right now. I'll probably go back to it, but I skipped about 20% of the book just because I glanced through the chapter headings and I was like, this is not what I need right now. And I think that Tim would have loved that because that was exactly what he was preaching in the part of the book that I read. All around, wonderful book. Go read it. Go check it out. It's the 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, If reading is knowledge and knowledge is power, then reading is power. Have a great day, guys. Bye.